Hi, this is Natalie of the Vintage Cross Stitch Niche, bringing you another video. I know I said it would be a while, right? And, well, I had a bunch of stuff to show you, and I don't know, I felt like making another video, so here I am, a little sooner than I thought. So, I just got home from work. It's been a long day, actually, and this is the second attempt at this video, because yesterday I filmed the video and I watched it today over lunch, and I realized that the lighting was no good. The lighting was great on the video when I had these really bright white LED lights put up, and then I just couldn't stand them. They were too in your face. So I put the soft light ones on, and I filmed the video yesterday and it was dark. So I just replaced one of the bulbs, the bulb facing me, with one of the bright ones. I figured just for the video I can deal with it, because I want to be able to make sure you guys see the colors I speak about and so forth. So this is now my second attempt at the video. So that was fun. So I hope everybody had a nice day. It's Monday, and it was a long day, which is a good thing, which means work was busy today, and busy work is a great thing. What do I have to show you? I have two semi-finishes. One is the reindeer sampler. This reindeer sampler by Kathy Barrick on Natalie dyed, me dyed custom linen. Can you see it? And the black is Weeks Onyx. The orange is Painter's Threads, and I don't think it has a name. It's just their orange. And the green is a dark green. I don't remember what it is. I don't remember, sorry. So what am I going to do with this guy? Just to show you, I did the edges are turned over and the edges are sewn, can you see that? With a piece of linen thread. The linen thread is actually pulled off the linen itself. So you know when your linen starts to shred the pieces of thread, I used it to sew, and I did it in a very antique-y fashion, just by hand. So here's my idea for this. I'm going to find a piece of wood or something to mount this on. And I'm going to mount it with rusty tacks in the corners. I ordered rusty tacks on eBay. It looks to me like they're little tack-like nails. I don't know exactly what they're for, but there's a box of them that somebody found in a garage that had been there for years, because it looks like maybe it was 1960s or 70s, and rusted on its own. And they decided to sell it as rusty tacks for doing finishing. We'll see what they look like and how this goes. I think I have to put something on the back, interface, some interfacing or something. I don't know. Or just tack it. I might be able to get away with just tacking it. But anyway, this is a semi-finish. So Kathy Barrick Reindeer Sampler. Took me 2 days, including dyeing the fabric. Easy. Easy peasy. Second semi-finish is this pillow. May you never be too old to search the skies on Christmas Eve. It's called Christmas Ride by Needle Bling Designs. And I made it into a pillow. I should have done more. I should have left more fabric around it, but that's okay. I haven't really ever made a pillow with my needlework, and the reason is that I'm afraid to cut it. So with Mary's help, thank you Mary, you know who you are, I made this pillow. Now, I originally wanted to put this gray trimming around it, but since it was my first linen sewing project, I didn't. Instead, in the true vintage way, I ordered some bells, rusty bells of different sizes. I'm not sure what size I need, and I'm going to put a big bell in each corner. So stay tuned on this. This is another semi-finish. Yay! What am I working on now? Well, I'm working on a few things. Boy, am I got a mess here. Let's pull out what I'm working on. Ugh. First off is BG 1874 by Samplers Not Forgotten. See it? I'm working on this in the called for, with the called for silks. Just beautiful silks, huh? And this is Lakeside 40 count vintage buttercream, which is such a nice color. Let's see if I can undo this so I can show you what I've done. I've done about a third of the sampler so far. Can you see it? I hope. It's got so much done. I guess I could have taken it off the frame, would have been better, right? But then I have to put it back on the frame. Anyway, here we go. So you can see what I got done. Quite a bit, huh? This is going to be so pretty when it's done. And I'm showing it to you upside down. So, round two. Let's see if I can just somehow roll this in a way that you can see all the pretty colors. And I am not reshooting this film again. Here we go. .40 count vintage buttercream. And that's coming along very nicely. When I leave them on the frames, and I'm lazy, so I don't like to take them off the frame, what I do is I loosen it so that your fabric isn't constantly under stress. I'm also working on Harriet Salt. I didn't pull her out because I don't want to show you that I haven't done any more. I've got about 5 lines done on it. So as soon as I get more, I'll show you my progress. I started the Janet Irving sampler. I showed you this last video by Jean Farish. Picture does not do it justice. The colors are beautiful, and this is all I've started. See, just a corner. This is mystery linen. It's a mystery linen. We don't know what, I don't know what it is. It's a cream, easy, super easy to work on. I think it's 28 count. And like I told you before, this thread is Cosmo. The more I work with it, the more I like it. Cosmo thread. It is super soft cotton, made in Japan. The Japanese do everything very well. And it's like a DMC nice color where it's got like a rich color. And I think it's nicer than DMC. It certainly is softer and easier to work with, doesn't shred at all. So if more people's tried this, there would be an absolute epidemic of people using Cosmo thread. And say thank you to Jean Farish for introducing me to Cosmo thread. So this is, like I said, Jean Farish sampler. The Janet Irving sampler was one of her ancestors, and this is available on eBay. I believe it's out of print. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's out of print. You can find this on eBay, and I've seen it for a very good price. Just to let you know, this is the original. Now, these are sort of photocopied. I wish, although I love this, this is beautiful the way she did this. Although she did a beautiful job with this nice folder with these giant charts. I wish she took a photograph of the sampler because I think the sampler is probably a lot nicer than this. She didn't bring it with her to the class, but I'm so happy she introduced. It was almost worth going to the class to learn about Cosmo thread. It was great. New acquisitions. Oh, I'm on a diet, but of course I can't resist. One of my new acquisitions had a reason, okay? So that's my excuse. For the Queenstown Sampler Designs, Sarah Haynes sampler, I love the pink. The fabric that they call for says it's Lakeside Linens Exemplar. That pink is not Exemplar. I could go digging out to show you, but it's not. So I found online, which I paid more money than I usually like to pay, but not horrible, an entire half yard of, this is vintage straw flower. It's 40 count vintage straw flower. I hope you can see the color. It is pink. It is pink. Okay? Pink. I think that will look very nice on the pink color. And it's got a nice variegation to it, really. Very pretty. It's almost a bit like bittersweet, to be honest with you. Not quite as purple as bittersweet, but almost, it reminds me of bittersweet. I also learned something new, that you can call 123 Stitch, and if they have any fabric on order, they will save it for you. And not even charge you until they get it in and mail it. Amazing. So I have a piece of Chantilly cream ordered. Chantilly cream, vintage Chantilly cream, is a beautiful pink color. I have it, I might even have it in here. I have to find, it is packaged up. It is it's kitted up somewhere. I'll find it for you and show you the difference, but that's a beautiful color. So it'll either be this pink or Chantilly cream. I'm in love with the sampler. I bought it about 1.5 years ago, and I really would like to start it when I finish these other samplers, that is, which I think won't be that long. I will be right back. I'm back. That was my husband on the phone, so I wanted to see what he wanted, and he was like, "What's for dinner?" And I'm like, "I'm tired. I had a long day." "All right, we'll manage." So I don't know. I'll fix something when he gets home. All right, so before this video is ended, I got to find my Chantilly cream so I can show you the difference between vintage Chantilly cream and vintage straw flower. Anyway, back on subject. So I ordered that from 123 Stitch. So she said it should come in March. What else is new? From Kitten Stitcher, she had a free shipping on last weekend, a free shipping. And she also had 50% off her sale items. I got this sampler chart for 50% off. It ended up being $8. This is a beautiful sampler by Needlework Press. And I always say I love her sampler charts. Not all of them, most of them. This one's a good one. Her sampler charts are done beautifully. They always have information about the sampler, full color, nice paper. That's the original, that's the reproduction. And I figured for the price, I couldn't resist. What a happy looking sampler this is. Just beautiful colors. So I was pleased to find that. I also got from her, hold on, a bargain of all bargains. She had her exclusive sampler threads on sale for $5 for a pack of 4. They're gone. They're gone because I posted it on the Vintage Cross Stitch Niche page, Facebook page, and they're gone. So let me show you the colors. And immediately a bunch of people went and bought a bunch of packs. I bought 4 packs, so I got 20 skeins of floss, of limited edition sampler floss, a Gentle Art floss, for $20. It was $1 each. Let me show you the colors. This is one of the colors. Purplish raspberry color. And she also had this beautiful blue. I don't know. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, look how beautiful this blue is. And she had a green and a brown and a tan. Just looking to see. This is the tannish one. I mean, they're very beautiful colors. All easy to use colors. This is my sampler tree, my floss tree, by the way. So she had beautiful colors. So imagine $1 a skein. So I bought extra because sometimes if you want to do a sampler like this, and let's say you think you need 2 skeins, you wouldn't be a limited edition. You wouldn't be able to find it, and now we have it. So that was great. This, by the way, is stitched on Weeks Dye Works straw with Weeks Dye Works threads. But I think she still has a few of these left. For $8, it's well worth it. Oh, I also got this. This is a Country Sampler Redbud Cottage Pin Keep Kit. Pretty. I bought this because I like the star and the bird. And I love these small kits. I've never opened this. This is the grand opening. Comes with fabric, which you're supposed to dye, or yes, you're supposed to dye it, and finishing and floss. This wasn't too expensive. Actually, I'm not 100% sure whether or not, let's see, each kit is created one-of-a-kind designs. What else is in here? Nope, that's it. So I thought that was kind of pretty. I'm on a diet for buying. I got this from Becky at Lucy Beam. This beautiful project bag with cool vintage looking fabric. Birds and squirrels. And a big, it's just really big, so. And I could put a project in here with the frame, which is great. Very pleased with this. She also sent me a set of scissors, these little Kelmscott Cutie scissors. Very adorable. So thank you, Becky. I was very pleased with my purchase. And thank you for the bonus scissors. That was awesome. What else? What else to do? I have been, oh, I didn't show you my antiques. I did buy a few antiques. Look at this. Is that awesome or what? Made with little finishing nails, just a nice little caddy. Somebody painted it. It looks old, it looks beat up. Boy, was I happy to find this. I love this thick handle. This was a thrift store find. Fabulous. I found this on OfferUp. It's an old tin. It's pretty inexpensive too. Nice, right? Just unmarked. I don't know how old it is. I don't think it's an antique, but it's definitely vintage. I also found this. It's a Wisconsin cheese box. And it says on the bottom, Seymour Woodenware Company, Seymour, Wisconsin. These boxes are great because you can use them to store everything, and they are antique, vintage, cottage looking. This one's in excellent condition. Had painting on it, flowers. I was very pleased with that purchase as well. And finally, let's put all this here. I found a frog piece. Now, this bowl I had, it's so pretty, little handles. But the frog inside, I found that at a thrift store, and I figured, how cool is that? And how pretty. Because I love putting my scissors and stuff in these little containers rather than sitting on the table. Those are my purchases. Whether or not I keep them, sell them, do giveaways with them, who knows. But the containers I can always use. I have a bunch of shaker boxes, and that's my only, my first real cheese box. It's huge. It's nice. So, what are we to do next? Well, should we do the giveaway? No, we'll do that after. I've been going through my stuff. I love going through my boxes of stuff periodically to see what I have. Do I want to keep this? Do I not want to keep this? Is this missing something? Do I like the linen? Do I not like the linen? Anyway, it's a good thing to go through them every few months. And I have some boxes, and this is another box. As you can see, this is a doer's box. Old box. And sitting on top, there is something from Brenda Gervais, where it's called Where Hearts Rest. Awful lot of people have done this. And it says the call for linen is Mellow by Picture This Plus, which is this linen, Mellow. Does that look like the same linen to you? No. In fact, all the colors used, just to show you them, are muted. These are all the muted called for colors. This linen is bright, super bright. I don't like it. In fact, I think this calls for some interesting dyed linen. I don't know yet, but this is going in a container of Needs Linen, and this Mellow by the Picture This Plus Mellow is going in my linen area, because that's now not good. So that's sitting right on top. Let's go through this and see what we have. This is a sampler kit. These have gotten more expensive. When I first started buying these old sampler kits, they were super cheap. I guess people have caught on. This is the Poly Coffin Sampler by The Exemplary. There is not a good picture on here. It's black and white. But I know this is going to be a nice sampler. First of all, the motifs are really pretty, and the colors are pretty. It comes with all of these threads, which are not in a good order, but it comes with a ton of thread in blues. My God, what a mess. Let's just get them together. Blues and greens and tans and golds. You just know the colors are going to be beautiful on this. And it came with a nice sized piece of linen. Mystery linen. which actually does look dyed. I got that on eBay, the Poly Coffin Sampler. Founder of the family line of coffins. What a terrible name. And the family lived in Massachusetts, and actually Nantucket. So this is a Nantucket sampler by the Exemplary. I'm sure this is long out of print. Copyright 1984. But this is on the back burner, but you know this sampler is going to be beautiful, and it's hard to tell. But this is complete kit, so this gets to stay in the container. So let's see what we got. As you can see, it's not very organized, unfortunately. All right. We have got another kit. This is by Threadworks Primitives, Let It Snow by Nan Lewis. That is cute, isn't it? And this kit came with a floss, which is country redwood, and a piece of linen. The linen is, it doesn't say, Pit Brown by Dames of the Needle. What a pretty color. What a pretty color. So this is all kitted up and ready to go. This is probably could be done in one day. Okay, so that stays in there. It's a small. This is called Crimson Poppies by the Silver Lining. I have no idea why I bought this. I'll never do it. It's way too flat. It's not my style. It comes with a nice big piece of linen, which I think is mocha. It looks like country mocha. It's painted linen, not stamped. Very pretty piece of linen, and a lot of DMC. So I'm going to keep this one out. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it, but it's not something that's going to be done. This is on the back burner. I bought this from Hands Across the Sea. She sold this kitted up. I don't think she's selling these kitted up anymore, but she sold this one kitted up, and as I recall, it was a good deal. It came with everything you need to make this sampler. This is Hands Across the Sea, Sarah Mary Larkworthy. Has a lot of specialty stitches in here. The colors are stunning. Just to show you. Hope you can see them. And it came with this giant piece of linen, and I mean giant. It's like not nice and ironed, but that's okay. A beautiful piece of linen. The photograph, this is the called for linen because it came with it, but the photograph looks a little lighter, but let's see, what kind of linen is this? Lakeside Exemplar. Aha! Exemplar. Once again, remember I told you this went on Exemplar? This is Exemplar. Close, but not quite pink. Exemplar is not pink, but it is a beautiful linen. So I have this humongous piece of Exemplar. I think this is 40 count. With all this silk. Ready to go when I'm ready to do it. So this stays in this container. Some little things in here which don't belong in here because I don't keep smalls in here. I will show you a blast from the past. This is a mini motif counted cross stitch kit from 1986, a duck. Keep that up. I did a bunch of those in the day. This is, this bag is falling apart, but this is the Twisted Threads mousse. My brother lives in upstate New York, not too far from the Adirondacks, so I'm very partial to mousses. I have all the called for threads. and a piece of whatever this color linen is. It's more of a blue-gray. It's not quite the called for linen, but called for linen is more of is blue, but that's okay. This is quite nice. It's a little mini kit. I'm going to keep this out because these mini kits do not go in this big box like that. These small kits go in like with the Stacy Nash and all that. Also, this bag is sort of got a hole in it, so I don't want everything being lost. This is why I go through my stuff, to organize it, to remind myself what I have. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, this has got to be old. First off, I have a pair of scissors in here, a really good pair of scissors. And they don't belong in here. I don't know what kind of scissors they are, but they're really nice. So, something I must have started 20 years ago. A counted cross stitch. There's also one of these little ornament things. Oh, I must have made this a long time ago. Oh my God. All right, it's time. I think I need to get rid of this stuff. I am going to save the, because I'm never going to do these. The ornament, just for this little crewel ornament, wasn't done very well. I'm saving that. And I'm not going to finish this duck. It's really too... I am going to save this little piece, frame, just for framing purposes. And probably get rid of this. And this is the stuff it came with. It obviously came with some... Oh, this is pretty. We'll repurpose that and save that for something else. It's actually very pretty. And this floss we will not repurpose because it's just random floss. So now I have one of these that's empty. Okay. This is We the People by Willow Hill Samplings. Very pretty. The Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution. We the people in order to form a more perfect union. Do you remember the Schoolhouse Rock? That's how I learned this. And then if you're a youngin' and don't know Schoolhouse Rock, go to YouTube. Go on YouTube right now and look. I have all the called for threads. And this is called dill, I believe. Hold on. Yes, Edinburgh 36 count dill linen. I like this linen. Yeah, I think it's going to look real pretty. It's the called for linen. I know it's going to be nice. When do I start these? Well, when I finish something, I start something else. That's what I do. And I'll just go through this and say, wow, I really want to do that one. I'm in the mood. It's the season. But this one's kitted up and ready to go. Aha! This one is by Art Stitch, and it's called Mackenzie. I have an Art Stitch Noel. Art Stitch is still around, by the way. Hold on. I did this a few years ago. This is by Art Stitch. It's beautiful, isn't it? And this one's got the little embellishment. Just done on called for linen. Just to show you Art Stitch. Putting that back on the wall where that belongs. And I kitted this up myself. I have all the DMC. All the DMC threads that you need to do that. And this beautiful piece of 28 count copper by Lakeside. Lakeside copper. Isn't that pretty? It's perfect. Perfect for this. If you've never done an art stitch, they're actually very, very pretty. And as I just showed you, and they're simple, they're easy, they're quick. There's no fancy stitches on them. So this is Art Stitch, another Art Deco piece. Or actually, this is more Art Nouveau. Still available, widely available on secondhand, but also Art Stitch is still available. They have a website. By the way, these are really good. These are from, you can get them on Amazon, and they end up being about 25 cents each. And they certainly work. Another one from Willow Tree, excuse me, from Carriage House Samplings. This is the Willow Tree Sampler. I've always liked that one with the crows or birds on it. I have all the silks for this. There's not that many colors. And let's see what I have. What kind of fabric did I put in here? This is 32 count R&R antique cotton. It's a very pretty linen. I love antique cotton, is one of my favorites. Still in the package, my God. The newer R&R is not as nice as the older R&R. Older R&R has much more character. Pretty yellowish, soft yellow color. Golden color. Antique cotton. Why do I need this extra piece of plastic? There's a needle here. Anyway, this is, I think this is going to be very pretty. I'm going to be dropping stuff. I already dropped something. Somebody is missing a DMC thread. It's going to be pretty. This one's ready to go. Tuck this away neatly in our package. Okay. Oh, this never ends, does it? Oh, this is an old Busilla needlework kit. I love these old kits. This contains floss and linen towels. These are linen, beautiful linen towels that you're going to applique. I don't want to pull it all the way out. So these are going to be appliqued linen and embroidered. I will absolutely get to this, but it's going in here. Next. This is Christmas Village by the Victoria Sampler. I've seen many people do this, and I love it. Christmas Village by Victoria Sampler. What's not to like? It's magnificent. And I have their finishing, their floss pack, and their finishing pack. And the called for linen, which is 28 count smoky pearl. It's white art smoky pearl. Kitted up and ready to go. This is why I'm not buying anymore. As you can see, I have way too much stuff. So every time I get on there and say, ooh, that looks great, I say to myself, please don't do that. And that's also why I sell I don't keep any of the charts after I do them, because what do I need them for? I'm never going to do them again. This is Threadworks Primitive Civil War Needle Book. You can see what I paid for it. I got this on Stash Unload. Cute, huh? So it's by Nan Lewis, and it comes with everything you need for this needle book. I bought this on Stash Unload, cross stitch only. Can't be very big. I mean, this is the only fabric they give you. How big could this be? Let's see. One piece of prairie cloth, muslin. This model was stitched on prairie cloth with 2 strands of pattern stitch gun, 48 by 26. Ooh. Probably going to keep this one out as a short one because I need short ones to do in between. Somehow, this is great. Anyway, let's keep this out. When I first started doing online Facebook with stitching and started to buy and sell, and the only reason I sold is because I ended up, I bought a huge lot of linen from some lady and I sold some of it. I sold probably half of it, and I was like, what a great place to sell. So I sold some of the linen. Apparently I wasn't following her directions, and then I put up one of my little teacup kits, and somebody on there, who I'm not going to say who it is, but one of the administrators, she actually kicked me off Stash Unloading. She cross stitch only. So, and there's thousands of people on there, and I guess people buy and sell and have a good time, but she kicked me off, and I was so insulted. And so distraught. Somebody contacted me that says, hey, you're not selling any more linen? I said no, because I got kicked off because I sold something that she got mad about. Apparently you cannot sell any vintage kit on there because one of the men's likes to sell her own vintage kits. So therefore she doesn't have any she doesn't want any competition. I didn't know this. I don't have time to be, whatever. The rules are too crazy for me. And that's how I started my own site, to say, I'm going to make a site where if I want to sell a kit, nobody's going to bother me. Or if somebody else wants to sell something, I can make some simple, easy rules and not have to deal with this nastiness. So it is a hobby. Why be rude? So the person was very rude to me. And to block me, and anyway, if it wasn't, I should thank her, because if it wasn't for this person being rude to me and kicking me off and blocking me and being nasty and the whole bit, if it wasn't for that person, I would not have started the page in these videos. So I should be happy. You never know. And that story is going to be related to what I'm going to talk to you about later too. So anyway, let's go on. This is the Betsy Cotton Sampler by Needles Praise. It is so adorable. Isn't that nice? This came as a kit with floss. It's not very big. Look at all the pretty colors. This was an eBay find, and it was very inexpensive, as I seem to recall. Like I said, these sampler kits and old samplers seem to be on the rise, so they're not so inexpensive anymore. But this is ready to go. What is this? Oh, another Threads of Gold Christmas sampler, because I have 2 of these. And Threads of Gold Christmas sampler. Isn't that pretty? I love it. It's so beautiful. Crown Him Lord of All by Threads of Gold. I have all the floss kit it up. And I have linen for this. What linen do I have? This is just summer Edinburgh summer khaki. As you can tell, it's not a huge sampler. Not a huge sampler. I don't know, why did I pick summer khaki for this? It almost looks like it's too dark. I'm going to keep this one out and reevaluate it. But it's so pretty. Alright, so this is one to reevaluate. I need to reevaluate the linen on that. Oh, this is Home for the Holidays by Blackbird. You've all seen it. And there is one sampler in particular that I have kitted up. It's Christmas Garden, which many, many, many people have done. So pretty. Christmas Garden. And I have kitted it up with, well, they're all just in here with all the called for floss. And this is a piece of R&R Reproductions French roast. Why I have this humongous, I don't know how big this is, but I have a humongous piece of French roast. What a nice neutral linen. I love it. Smells good too. I love the way R&R smells. French roast. Ready to go when I'm ready to do it. How big a sampler is this? Why do I have this giant piece? 227 by 272, sampler size 18 by 15 on 30 count. Yeah, I don't know why I have a giant piece. Maybe I brought extra. So, but I do like that color of the sampler. I remember hand picking and hemming and hawing over the color, but this French roast really is perfect. This is half the fun of this. It's me picking colors and really half the fun. Oh, this is an old Busilla kit called Christmas, the Season That Warms the Heart. It's cute, right? I don't know if I'm ever going to do it. I had ideas of doing this on a different kind of linen. I believe this kit comes with Ada. Yes, it does. And something happened. Well, something spilled on here. It's partially finished. I don't think I'm ever going to finish it. Number one, something spilled on it, which maybe can come out. Number two, I just don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave this out. I'm probably going to do that as one of those. Does anybody want to finish this kit? I'm going to wash it first and then see. Not everything I have I'm going to finish. This is Birds in the Bower by the Good Huswife. I always thought that was kind of cool. A bunch of birds. A bunch of different colored birds. And I have this kitted up with DMC and a very stiff piece of desert sand, which is the call for linen, I'm sure. DMC and desert sand. Boy, is this stiff. Stiff linen, for those of you who may not stitch on linen, who want to stitch on linen, stiff linen is the easiest linen to stitch on. It's the soft stuff that's actually hard. You think you want your linen soft, but you may not really want it that way. Another kit by it's called the Needles Work Sampler by Dawn Lewis. gorgeous. Really gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? This came completely kitted up. In fact, very nicely kitted up. The Needles Work sampler. We'll get to that one day. Another one, a Stitch in Time sampler by Eileen Bennett. I thought this was just adorable. Isn't that cute? These are out of print, I'm sure. This one came with DMC floss and some nice linen. This one's ready to go as well. Okay. Well, does this ever end? Oh, the sewing sampler by Not Forgotten Farm. This is also on my to-do list. You can't see that, can you? And the reason it's on my to-do list, here you go, has to do with this fabric that it comes with. You gotta check this out. Look at the fabric. This is such a nice kit. It's also got a hole in the bottom. This one's going to be kept out as a priority kit because I want to do that. Really. This I've shown you before. This is Teresa Kogut Dance Party. I've got it completely kitted up, and the linen I made myself with saffron. It's a saffron linen. That does not belong in this container, though. Another Hands Across the Sea. This is probably going to be the next sampler that I start. This one is called Susanna Milne by Hands Across the Sea. I love the colors. I don't love that I've got this thing somehow folded a little bit, but that's okay. I love it. I love everything about the colors of this sampler. I have 36 count buttercream, 40 count, excuse me, vintage buttercream, which is the same as what I'm doing 1843 on it, and which I believe is the called for linen. Let me just double check that. I'm not sure. Doesn't say. How does it not say? Once again, this has a pink tinge. I love threads. I don't know if you can see them in the plastic bag, but they're yellows. Just love it. I may not use the buttercream now that I'm looking at this. I love this pink color. I'm keeping this out to reevaluate the linen choice. And I really do want to do this one. I think when I finish BG 1843, I'm going to start this one. Out of all the samplers, this one is something else. I love it. I have to reevaluate my linen choice. Okay, I'm thinking the pinky linen looks good. Ah, this is the one I started and stopped. This is Quaker Christmas. Love it. It's so beautiful. I started it. I hated the linen. It was light exemplar. It didn't do anything for me. And I stopped it. And I bought another piece of linen. And this linen is dyed by me. This is actually 47 count Natalie dyed linen. I hope you can see how pretty the color is. I think it's going to look great. So with this 47 count, you say, yeah, it's not that bad with these colors on it. It's hard for me to tell whether or not how much you can see. So If I get up the nerve, I'm going to restart this on the 47 count, dyed by myself. This really came out good. This is by Delaney Wood's Treasures, All Hallows Eve. It's a great little project. And I have the called for linen, which is Dames of the Needle Age Saffron, and the called for threads. This is something you can't find every day. This is a needlework press. This is Measure Twice. This is a little kit, out of print kit, by the way, that comes with everything you need to make your measuring tape. See what it makes? You actually sew that. So, very cool looking. This is by Needle Treasures. This is called Peaceful Place. There was something about this I just liked. It has no linen with it. It came with a big piece of Aida. And what I did was I actually didn't like the Aida. Somebody asked me for a hand-dyed piece of linen, so I pulled the Aida out of here and I dyed it for them. Because it was the only Aida I had and it was white. This needs linen. I think this on linen, this looks sort of dated, but this on linen is going to look magnificent. So that stays out because I have no linen to do that on. What the heck is this? Oh, I'm never going to do this one either. This one's called Heartstrings, Angel of Hope. It's just not my style. I remember buying this because it came as a kit, and I bought it because it came with all these threads and a very, very nice piece of linen, and this is R&R. And it's a very nice piece of green, a greenish linen. Let me pull this out. Yeah, I remember wanting to do this, but buying it just because it came with a bunch of stuff, including a little heart. So I think what I'm going to do is distribute this linen and give somebody this chart, whoever wants it. So that'll be free. One of those freebie things. Hey, does anybody want this? Let me know. Aha! Look at this. Have you ever seen anything so cool? It's like a little village house. Whether or not I'll actually do it, I don't know. But I bought this off of eBay one time. Same thing with this. Who the heck knows why I bought those? And this one. Those are in here. I think we can start putting stuff back in here. All right. We only have a few more. What is this? Oh, by Sheepish Designs. This is Starburst Sampler. I thought it was really pretty. And this has a big piece of Aida. No, Jobelan. Comes with a piece of black Jobelan, and it has all of the floss. Okay, which look magnificent on this Jobelan. If I ever get a chance, I'm going to do this. My issue is working on the black. But again, this is on the back burner. What is in here? Aha! This is a Fancy That kit, Happity Hoppity Spring. That's really adorable. And I love the colors. I think I bought it for the colors. Another one that came with this linen. This is Art R Reproductions linen. A really cool color. And it does not have any threads. How is that possible? So we got issues with this. I have no threads, and this just has linen. Go figure. So we had this stays out. We have to figure out what's going on here. What happened to the threads? Because I thought that had threads with it. In fact, I know it did. See, this is why I go through this. Finally is one that I started. This is a whip. This is the Christmas Joys by Threads of Gold one. I started this and I was really unhappy with the way it was looking because I just don't like the border. It just looks it's imperfect to me. I should have never have done this border in that way. So I think what I'm going to do is just pull out the border and just do the border in a different way and restart this. This is going to stay out too because I have all the beautiful silks for this, and it is such a pretty sampler. I don't know what I was thinking with that one. It's got to stay out too. Oh, let's put these all back. These back while we talk. That's a box. This is why I'm on a diet, not to buy anything else, and if I buy it, I'm very limited. My husband says, he goes, well, if you buy one, why don't you sell another? And I'm like, well, which one do I sell? How could I possibly do that? Okay. These have to go in a different container. This is not ready. I'm waiting on linen. Oh, I didn't find the Chantilly lace for you. I'm going to do that next time. Let's do the winner. Now, the winner's easy. The winner's easy. So, the winner, where's the prize? Where is the prize? The winner of the Jenny Bean alphabet with a beautiful piece of linen. This is actually R&R Vintage Homespun 36 count. I already picked this yesterday, so I'm not going to repick it. And let me just find the name because I emailed this person and she did not on Instant Messenger, and she absolutely did not email back. But her name is Susan Edwards. Susan, you were randomly picked to win this prize. I'm going to try to contact you. And also, it looks like you have 15 mutual friends on Facebook, so I'm sure I can find you. I don't think you're a member of the Vintage Cross Stitch Niche page, but Susan, I will find you. This is yours. The next prize is going to be a chart. It's going to be Reflets de Soie Pocket Vintage, which is a vintage pouch. It's magnificent. It's done on purple linen with those beautiful colors, and it's charted for silks and DMC. And the way you're going to enter, I'm only going to pick somebody who follows directions. The way you're going to enter is answer the following. Has one event led to another in your life and you don't think it's random? You think God's behind it or something else behind it. so there's a reason for that, and I'm going to go over that now. This is from Family Church. They give these little cards every single time, and you fill in the blanks while listening to the scripture being read. And they spoke the passage last time was Esther, at least a part of it. And the title of this is God Uses Unlikely People. What happened was Mordecai was Esther's uncle. That wasn't even his name. It was something else. Esther's real name is Hadassah, but they wanted to fit in with the Persians. They were Jewish, and they changed their name. And then he pushed her to become to be one of the concubines of the king, because the king had banished the queen. When she became a concubine, and then she, which is obviously a prostitute, and the king enjoyed her so much, he decided to make her into a queen, and then she saved the Jewish people. So one thing led to another, and it wasn't chance. We think it was chance. It was actually a bad life. She lost her parents. She had to become a concubine. She was faced with extinction because they were going to kill all the Jews, including her. And she became a hero, saving all the Jews of Persia. So, if you know the story. So, the three messages are: God uses unlikely people who wonder if He is at work. So people who say, how could this be happening? Who wonder if they have anything to offer, and who wonder if it's worth the risk. So it's amazing to me that you look at events and things. So let me tell you a story. People sometimes come from places that you don't think they're going to come from to do spectacular things. I grew up in a very difficult home, and then I got sick. I had a tumor which needed to be removed, and I almost died. And I had dreams of going to medical school because I wanted to get out of my situation. I wanted to be independent and just say goodbye to all that. And I did. Well, so out of adversity, I ended up going to medical school. I ended up saving lives. You know, I've actually saved lives in what I do. So it happens. That's why I want to hear back. I want to hear if anything has happened to you, or has anything happened in your life that you think wasn't chance. You know, were you an unlikely person to be picked? It wasn't chance. Nothing's chance. How about free will? You know, I always wondered about that. Well, if it's not chance, how do we have free will? Well, the answer is that we have free will, but God already knows what we have chosen. So, anyway, never really understood that either, the whole free will thing and chance. God knows what we're going to choose, and we're going to choose what He has preordained for us to choose. Sort of makes sense. Anyway. I wanted to show you one more thing, the punch needle and primitive stitcher. This is the 2019 spring issue. I am anxiously awaiting the 2020 spring issue. I'm only going to show you the cross stitch. This is by Lindy Stitches. It's called 3 Snows. Isn't that cute? That's awesome. And she's got a Weeks Dye Works suggested flosses with a DMC conversion, and this is done on Picture This Plus Arctic. Next. This is by the Hair Sampler by Teresa's Primitive Treasures. Awfully adorable. I like the finishing. She does beautiful finishing. Done on Country Mocha linen. This is the Bridget Swan by the Primitive Hair. That's something else, isn't it? It's not a spring thing, in my opinion. It could be anything. Her finishing is unbelievable with all those feathers. Done on her Old Salem linen. This is by Barbara Anna, and it's called, what is it called? Spring Basket by Barbara Anna. Done on Zweigart Cream. This is the Quaker Pin Cushion done by Lucy Beam. You can do any letter you want in the middle. She gives you a whole list of letters to be used. This is Spring Welcome by Open Road Abode Needleworks. And that model uses Sulky Petites threads. I've never used them. It was done on 28 count even weave, True Colors background, sponged beige. I've never heard of that. Let's see what else we got. This is Doves for Spring by Roveris. Looks like Country Mocha linen to me. Isn't that pretty? That would almost be nice for a wedding. A little wedding gift for somebody. The Doves for Spring, done on Zweigart linen vintage, whatever that means. Vintage. This is Birds of Spring by Dames of the Needle. Is that it? That might be it. No, this is Welcome Spring by Sub Rosa. I love the cat. I love the kitty. And I think that's it. Of course, I have to clean up this big mess. This has been enjoyable spending this time. I hope you like my videos. If you like them, please say thumbs up. You like them? If you don't like them, then don't say anything. Make a comment if you have a question, a comment. If you want to see something differently, you can, or see something, ask questions about something. Contact me on Facebook, Natalie Willis. If you are the winner of anything, please contact me. I have 1 or 2 items which nobody has ever claimed, and I can't find the people, so therefore they are not getting them. It will be maybe a giveaway in the future for somebody else. And just remember that, you know, that song, I'm Just a Nobody, Going to Tell Everybody by Casting Crowns is absolutely true, and it goes along with God uses unlikely people. If you feel like a nobody, you know, everybody feels like that. And even people maybe that you would never think feel like that. But everybody feels like they're a nobody at least sometimes. And you can make a difference. There's something called the butterfly effect, where if an angel, how does it go? It's a theory. If a butterfly flaps his wings, it creates a cascade effect that may, there's movies made about it, that may affect somebody far, far away. It could start a wave. One little wave could cause something, whatever. And there's a lot of truth to that, because in small ways, anything you do, the smallest thing you do, may have an effect on somebody else, be it positive or negative. The worst thing for me to overcome is trying not to be judgmental of others, because I say, wow, I came out of this situation, I worked hard, I don't want to hear their complaint because they don't work at all, they don't do anything. To be judgmental. It's very easy to be judgmental of others, and everybody's got maybe a reason, or maybe people aren't always capable of what I'm capable of. Or maybe they're sick and I don't know it. But it's very easy to be judgmental of people, like the homeless, for example. And, you know, my father had a thing on the wall when I was a kid that said, do not judge a man until you walk a mile in his moccasins. My father had this on the wall. It was in plastic, and I always remembered it, and it's true. And maybe God will use you to do his work. You never know. I've certainly started in little ways encouraging people to give God a chance. Maybe somebody will listen and go once to church and hear, and something good will happen, and maybe they'll get somebody else, and so on and so on. So you never know. Anyway, enough of this. From my home to yours, have a great evening, and I will see you on the Vintage Cross Stitch Niche channel again. Not sure when, but channel again, and I'll see you hopefully on the page. Have a great evening.